During the Cold War, Jacobo Arbenz was elected the president of Guatemala. As president, he pushed for a land reform to redistribute land to landless peasants, which greatly angered the United Fruit Company, a U.S. company that owned large portions of land in Guatemala. They thought they were not receiving fair compensation for their land. Because of this, the U.S. introduces CIA involvement in Guatemala, but they do not tell the citizens of America that it was to support United Fruit. They instead say it was to stop the uprise of communist government.
These governments have hidden agendas because everyone has hidden agendas. I think a lot of stuff is done behind closed doors. I don't think we ever did get the real reason why Bush sent us to war. He kept talking about the weapons of mass destruction, but yet no weapons of mass destruction were found. I think that they'll have a little bit of hidden agendas, and I don't think that the public is aware of everything that the government tells us what they want to tell us.
I believe that the U.S. tries to get the people on their side by coming up with other reasons besides economic reasons. Whether they are actually trying to hide the economic reasons, I think it's more of a fact that they really emphasize the other reasons.
I think that lots of times there's other things going on that aren't known to the average citizen, and that they're known within the White House, the administration.
To be as powerful as the military in the countries that we are, you can't always just leave everything on the table for everybody to know what's going on. Some things are best kept secret.
I do not think they have hidden agendas for the war, because they would have to ask people at Al-Qaeda, can you bomb my World Trade Centers? And so we can go to war with you. The real reason for joining wars seems to be muddled. The government takes things such as communism and terrorism, fears of the people. The government builds up these fears to make the people believe we need to fight this and that this is what we are fighting for. If you take the current war, for example, many have probably thought at some point we were in Iraq because of attacks on the Twin Towers and the Pentagon on September 11th.
To be honest, I don't really know why we went to Iraq.
I think we went to Iraq to stop the Al-Qaeda and Taliban from gaining power.
I think we went to Iraq because in one day, a plane went, woo, this is a building, this is a plane, woo, boom. And everybody thought that was Iraq. And I'm not even sure if it was Iraq or not. But, it was some country around there, and they probably had weapons of mass destruction too. Everybody says they're like blah blah blah. The weapons of mass destruction are there.
I do believe that there was evidence. I do believe that we were also deceived by the international security people, that we got some bad information. We went to war for weapons of mass destruction, which I believe did exist, and I believe are now in Syria or in Libya.
Bush sold us a bill of goods and talked about weapons of mass destruction, that they could destroy the world. I think that he had a hidden agenda as to why he was getting in there. And if you take a look at some of the things in the past, when his father was president, I think that there was a little bit of vindictiveness and he wanted to go for retaliation. I believe that he got us into this war. Unfortunately now, we can't just walk away from it. We have to stay in there until bring it into some sort of conclusion.
And then we went to Iraq. Why did we go to Iraq? Because George Bush Sr. is the one that started it, and George Bush Jr., when he was president, he carried it out. He was just doing what his father started.
We went to Iraq because Bush had his agenda to basically finish his father's war, and he also had stocks in a gas company, and his main goal was to get gas from Iraq.
It had nothing to do with the terrorist attacks. It was completely because it's what Bush wanted to do, not because of any terrorist acts.